4 controversial game show scandals. Watching a good old game show has always been a favorite pastime that we love to spend with family or friends. Who could forget that time when you and the gang played along, shouting at the top of your lungs at the contestants on the TV screen for missing the obviously correct answer? While we always had a blast watching those stupid contestants giving out dumb answers or those unlucky players who just couldn't get a break from getting a bad spin, a game show can also get dark. Here are 5 controversial game show scandals you wouldn't believe had actually happened. Number 4. Getting help from the audience. Charles Ingram, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Dubbed by the BBC as the most British crime of all time, the case of Charles Ingram and his apparent cheating on the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is one of the most infamous instances when a player cheats his way to the jackpot, live on TV. Ingram is actually one of the last persons you can think of to commit dishonest acts, with him being a former British Army major. But nevertheless, he carried out the illicit stunt in 2001 with the help of his wife and another accomplice, Tequin Whitcock. What he did was to read out the possible answers to the questions, and his cohorts would cough if he mentioned the right one.
I'm sure it's a hat. Am I sure?
Using the scheme, Ingram eventually won the staggering jackpot prize of £1 million. His host, Chris Tarrant, congratulated him and told the new millionaire that he's the most amazing contestant the show had ever seen. It wasn't long before the staff of the show became suspicious of the whole affair. The show launched an investigation which revealed the incessant coughing as a way to signal the contestant that he's choosing the right answer. In 2003, Ingram was convicted of fraud and ordered to pay £15,000 in fines. Number 3. The Case of Mispronunciation. Renae Durrett, Wheel of Fortune. The game show Wheel of Fortune is no stranger to contestants who can't pronounce well. Most of the time, these fortune seekers would spell all the words right, but then would fail miserably when it comes to uttering them. And most of the time, the audience would laugh their heart outs at the contestants who blew their chances in winning the game, but not Renae Durrett. In 2012, Durrett tried her luck on the Wheel of Fortune. She was having a good run when suddenly, the show declared that her game was over when she said 7 swans a-swimmin' instead of 7 swans a-swimming.
7 swans a-swimmin'.
Yeah, that's...
No thanks to her native southern twang, she lost $3,850 and the chance to hit the jackpot. In an interview, she told ABC News that she did ask for the G, which means that she knew it was part of the word. However, she can't easily do away with how she speaks. The internet was quick to pick the fight for Durrett against the show. Despite the incessant protest on social media, the producers at Wheel stood firm on their decision to disqualify Durrett. Number 2. Beating the System. Michael Larsen, Press Your Luck. Michael Larsen, an out-of-work ice cream truck peddler, literally pressed his luck in 1984 on the CBS game show Press Your Luck.
Hi, thank you, Roddy. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Press Your Luck. We are television's most competitive game.
During his stint on the show, he took home the equivalent of over $250,000, amount adjusted for inflation, in cash and prizes, which was considered the largest to have ever been won on a game show at that time. The interesting thing here is that Larsen did it in a way that some would argue to be a form of cheating, while the others say it's legitimate. Larsen was clever enough to realize that the TV show's game board followed a not-so-random pattern, armed with nothing but the pause and play button for his VCR. Remember, this was still in the 80s. He studied the patterns and memorized them. Apparently, mastering the layout of the board wasn't enough for Larsen to fail-proof his strategy. At home, he played along a number of episodes to further test this newfound knowledge. Larsen eventually appeared on the show. He played the game and, to the surprise of everyone, he didn't hit a single whammy on the board. The producers realized what was going on. At first, the network refused to pay Larsen his winnings, but since there's technically no foul being committed, the executives reluctantly handed what was due to him. Number 1. A serial killer on TV. John Cooper, Bullseye. How naive of us to think that a criminal, say a serial killer, wouldn't dare do things that would draw attention.
Got £220. What are you going to do?
You'd like to gamble.
There it is.
John Cooper, a man who was a prime suspect to the killing of 2 people, did exactly just that by playing darts on national television. At that time, no one had a clue that Cooper had gotten away with the murder of the siblings, Richard and Helen Thomas, in 1985. Several years later, he appeared on the British game show called Bullseye and played just like anyone else. A month after his TV appearance, he went on to kill Peter and Gwenda Dixon. The footage from the episode when Cooper appeared was used to cross-reference the sketched image of the suspect behind the aforementioned murders. In 2009, DNA results came out to further convict Cooper of his crimes. 2 years later, the Pembrokeshire native was found guilty and given 4 life sentences for the murder of the Thomases and the Dixons. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.